Hey, so, Undertale's a decade old now, huh? That's like a big deal, isn't it? Big 1-0. You may know that Toby's made a tweet for this occasion, looking for memories about this game. Personally, I didn't really get a chance to say anything to the flower, but I feel like I should. It is a very special game, and a very special occasion after all. So, that's what this video is about. And I thought, since most people watching this are probably from the animated soundtracks corner of the Undertale community, you know, the one with the trios, octets and whatever else. I don't think there's an official name. I'd like to mainly focus on the rich history of this community, or at least how I remember it. But before we start, did you know that Mario also had an anniversary like 2 days ago? It's the 40th one, sure, but I think it's kinda crazy how both of these are closing a decade pretty much at the same time. And you know, this just gave me an idea. What if I take my favorite thing from one, and my favorite character from the other, and then just kinda... And that's how OCs are made, kids. Anyways, let's just get to the point already. Here's how I remember the Undertale animated soundtrack trios community or whatever. I've been an Undertale fan before the trios could even have a dedicated community, so I'll briefly talk about my origins, I guess, and how I discovered Undertale. In early 2019, I clicked on a video that would get me interested in Toby's work. It was someone trying to beat Jewel in Deltarune, and at one point, while they were struggling, they compared this battle with the one with Sans. And that name sounded familiar. Yes, the one thing I heard about Undertale even before that video was of course Megalovania. You just couldn't avoid it while being on the internet. So, curious, I've decided to check out how the battle with Sans looked like, and from then on I just kept watching more content about Undertale. So yeah, definitely not the intended way to experience this game, you know, watching the end of a genocide playthrough first, but I still really enjoyed it. So I had to go through the usual, you know, Stronger Than You, Megalomaniac, and channels like Merc with every Gaster secret, Sans Comic TV with dubbed comics, and Underlap with great theories. So yeah, back then my main source of knowledge about alternate universes was basically anything that got popular on YouTube. Underplayer, The Fat, Ultratale, the one with color, I think it was Othertale. Underverse, of course, Glitched... never mind. But I also have fond memories of some more obscure ones, mainly from Sans Comic TV. I'm talking Ducks of Future Past, Time Scar, Undertale, Swap Out. If you're a decently old fan and watched these back in the day, I hope I just hit you with some nostalgia. Also, shout out to Comic Dubbers for introducing me and a lot of other people to these IUs, cause let's be honest, none of us were gonna read the actual comics as Undertale fans. I should check out some of these comics again and see how they hold up today. Looking back, it's pretty funny how most of these have Kara be the ultimate evil. I think the fandom has grown to have a much better understanding of every character nowadays. Wait, wasn't this supposed to be about animated OSTs? Right, sorry, I got a little sidetracked. Let's also briefly talk about some fangames now, cause I feel like many trio sounds were introduced to me by fangames. Dust Tale, Horror Tale, Betrayer, and Last Breath in particular. Merrick played a big role on YouTube with Undertale fangames, as he was like the only one doing commentary, so he really helped popularize a lot of AUs. And then, out of nowhere, one day, in late 2019, a certain video would show up in my recommendations. It's the moment you've all been waiting for, a video with a thumbnail that looked something like this. And I found it very, very interesting. Alright, so this might be a bit subjective, but I think Murder Time Trio by Kamui, I hope I said that right, is what really made this new corner of the Undertale fandom, inspired mainly by the Bad Time Trio and possibly Mad Time Trio and Disbelief Papyrus as well. This AO takes the trio aspect of one and the phasiness of the other to create a dynamic, multi-phase battle with changing members and music associated with them. I thought it was pretty cool, even though I didn't know half the members or what exactly was going on. Like, Horror's got a big ass cross on his face, so I think he's like super dead, man. Damn. So why do I think these bad boys were so important? Well, you could say they were the pioneers of many concepts that would later be used in more trios. From this point on, it's very rare to see a trio that doesn't just have Sanses as members. Fusion and changing members were also very inspirational for people apparently. And keep in mind that this was nothing more than a couple of songs, a bit of animation, a bit of story, but despite this, the author still treated it like it could be a game. So similar to Last Breath, the tracks for main menu, half phases and even Game Over were created. Moving on to 2020, nothing really important happened this year, trio-wise. A highlight for me was the wonderfully animated Wonderful Idea OST by Mr. Case, a take on the Undertale's hard mode. This one was a big inspiration for me. It was by far the best animated OST I've ever seen, and to this day it's still one of the best out there. In late 2020 I also tried playing a fun game for the first time. It was Dustale Last Genocide of all things. Now, keep in mind that this was my first experience with this bullet system. I still had not played Undertale back then, so as you can imagine, I really struggled. I didn't even get close to beating the first phase, and got so mad I deleted the game. Now getting back to the OST stuff, the next two trios were so big they marked a new beginning. Trios as influential as the Murder one, if not more. I'm talking about Heroes Time Trio and Undertime Trio. Nah, not really. Oh boy, here we go. Karmatic Time Trio by DJ Skull and Former Time Trio by Rejom320 were created in early 2021. Since the original KTT videos are no longer on YouTube, it's hard for me to say which came first, but if I recall correctly, somewhere under KTT's Phase 1 video, DJ Skull said that his friend Rejom made a trio, so he wanted to make his own. So I think Former came a bit earlier in January 2021. But for some reason I think I discovered Karmatic first, not sure why. My first reaction to these was, I don't know, I knew everyone from Former, but like, that's not impressive. It reminded me of Mirrored Insanity. Oh yeah, Mirrored Insanity, I should have also mentioned that earlier. Whatever. KTT was very confusing for me at first. I did recognize Last Breath from the sprite, and thanks to a Wonderful Idea, I correctly assumed this guy was in some kind of hard mode. I thought the theme of this one was Sanses that look like Sans and don't have any visual differences, but that's not really the case. This trio has become such a mess over the years. Like, what's with all these reboots and reboots? Why not just change the name entirely? And now the fourth member is also debatable. And is Karmatic even a word? Wouldn't Karmic be better? And this stupid A has persisted for so many videos, including mine, and now it has two versions of Decadent Society? Why was he even here in the first place? And what the fuck? Apologies for having a strong opinion on the internet just now. Let's move on. These two started an avalanche of trio creation this year. Suddenly everyone wanted to be a proud owner of one. Joke, First Changes, Double Cross, Departed, and Chaotic as well, I think. Everything in just 1 year. Things calmed down in 2022, with creating new original trios, I mean, but a lot of new trios from now on were remixes of already existing ones. So you could dip some trios in various AU sauces to make a new one. You could add an exclamation mark and mix them with other trios, or you could add an X and make them fight together. You could make them different, make them forward, backward, prepare them for trouble or make it double, and that's pretty much how it is to this day. The main source of trio content on YouTube nowadays are re-uploads from Bilibili. So yeah, shout out to the Asians and shout out to Seljon and Sad Times all around for re-uploading. Alright, let's wrap it up with a big one. Ending time octets. Where do I even begin? Let's make this quick. A massive project with lots of phases, released way out of order, but with increasing quality. I could make a whole video about this thing. Someone already did. Someone with voice. This thing made someone speak. Isn't that amazing? So yeah, guess that's it. I don't know what else to say. I guess, should I mention my channel as well? Nah, I've made 2 little videos for anyone to care about me. Oh right, I just realized how... But why did I even make this if no one's gonna... Well, this is awkward. If you'd like to share your memories about Undertale or the Trio community, feel free to make a comment. Yeah, who am I kidding? You think any of them are capable of making a sentence in English? Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and write your phase 3 when comment and happy Undertale's 10th anniversary. See ya.